One of these men has a distinction held by no other living man. What is your name, please?
My name is Michael Verboff.
My name is Michael Verboff.
My name is Michael Verboff.
Only one of these men is the real Michael Verboff. The other two are imposters and will try to fool this panel. Tom Poston, Faye Emerson, Ralph Bellamy, and Polly Bergen on To Tell the Truth with your host, Bud Collier.
Thank you very much, and welcome once again to Tell the Truth. To Tell the Truth is brought to you this week by Helene Curtis, makers of fine beauty products, creators of Enden Dandruff Treatment Shampoo, and Helene Curtis Spray Net, regular and super soft. Panel, good evening, and will you please open your envelopes for the first time tonight and take out your affidavit cards and follow along as I read this first one to you. I, Michael Verboff, am a portrait painter. I have painted people from all walks of life. My subjects have been 4 kings, 1 queen, several dukes and princes, as well as dozens of world leaders in politics, music, art, and society. Recently, one of the really great museums of the world offered to purchase my portrait of the 17th Duke of Alba. I was so honored that I presented it to them. Consequently, I am the only American, the only artist of the 20th century, and the only living person to have a painting hanging in the great Prado Museum in Madrid. Signed, Michael Verboff. Panel, as you heard, we have 3 distinguished gentlemen here this evening, each one claiming to be Michael Verboff, famous portrait painter, and we'll start this first round of questioning with Faye Emerson. Faye?
Thank you, Bud. Mr. Verboff, number 1, what is your nationality? You're an American.
I was born in Russia,
What part of Russia?
Moscow.
Mr. Verboff, number 2, where is the Prado Museum located? I mean, what hotel is directly opposite in
The Ritz.
And what is the other one, on the other corner? I mean, just opposite the other way.
The Palace.
Mr. Verboff, I think I'm not saying this right. Mr. Verboff, number 3, what do you mean when you say, I don't think I can say it now that I think of it. Chioscuro. Well, never mind, it's a painting term, but I can't say it at all. Where does your picture hang in the Prado? In what wing?
On the right wing.
Ralph?
Number 1, what is considered what is the name of the great Rubens portrait in the Uffizi Gallery in Florence? Who's the subject? Perhaps the best-known one there. Maybe his best-known portrait. Number 2, do you know?
No.
Number 3, do you know?
No.
Wow. Number 2, in what museum is famous in Spain for its great collection of El Greco paintings?
The Prado.
Number 3, what was El Greco's real name? Number 1, do you know? Number 2, do you know?
Yes, number 2?
I didn't get very far, did I?
Domenico Theotokopoulos.
Is that right? Oh.
I don't think I should say.
Number 3, could you tell me the name of the city that was originally the capital of Spain?
Originally?
Yes, or was the capital several centuries ago?
Seville.
Number 1, could you tell me?
Madrid.
Number 2, there is a city not too far from Madrid that has a wall built all the way around. It's supposedly one of the oldest cities in Spain. Could you tell me the name of that?
Toledo.
Number 3, there is a large tomb built fairly new, recently constructed outside of Madrid. Could you tell me the name of that monument?
No.
Number 2, could you tell me?
Tom Poston, please.
Number 2, what does chiaroscuro mean in connection with paint?
That's what I meant.
How do you pronounce that?
Chiaroscuro.
That's what I meant.
Chiaroscuro.
Chiaroscuro.
It's not my question. Don't blame me.
Chiaroscuro is Latin shadow.
Thank you. Number 1? Yes, that's right. Number 1, where was Goya from? Do you happen to know?
Spain.
I hope we're not asking too many Spanish questions. Do you gentlemen, number 3, do you mostly paint in Spain? Are you now a Spanish resident?
No, I'm an American resident.
That's all the time we have. For the rest of you American residents, to mark your ballots, if you will, please. Ladies and gentlemen of the panel, without consultation. Will you mark your ballots and vote for number 1, number 2, or number 3? And of course, as usual, the challengers will receive $250 for every incorrect vote. Everyone voted? All right. Tom, for whom did you vote?
I voted for number 1 simply because of his demeanor. I believe that number 2 answered the questions. The only one really who answered questions about painting and Spain and so forth. It's just a matter of guess.
Faye, your vote.
Darn, I'm tempted to agree with you, but I voted for number 2 because he did give the right answers, but I ought to know that doesn't count on this show.
No, it's just...
Ralph?
Number 2.
Number 2 for you.
I'm pretty much in the same boat Faye is. Number 2 seemed to have most of the answers. I rather suspect it's number 1.
Polly?
Well, I think we all suspect it's number 1. First of all, he corrected number 2, which also doesn't mean anything on this show. But number 2 did know the city, we call it Toledo, but he pronounced it correctly, and I think it was at one time also the capital of Spain.
Have a little
He was the only
laryngitis,
one. A little laryngitis.
Huh? Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Well, all right, there are reasons, our rhymes, and the way we put them together. The way we put them together, if you're playing along at home, let's check on you now, too, as we discover which one of these gentlemen is the real portrait painter. So, may I ask the real Michael Verboff to please stand up. Thank you, sir, very much. Very much. We're proud to have you on the show. Number 1, would you tell us your real name and what you really do, please?
My name is Leon Bart. I am journalist covering Olympic Games from 1912 till today, till last time in Rome.
And number 3, may we have your real name and what you do, please?
My name is Tibor Rakosi. I'm the only singing head waiter in New York City presently at the Chardash restaurant.
Well, welcome to you, sir. In checking our score, we find that there was only 1 incorrect vote. The panel was good tonight on this first round. 1 incorrect vote at $250 from Helene Curtis, and, of course, a gift package of Helene Curtis Fine Beauty products for your ladies. Thank you very much for being with us, gentlemen. Good night, and God bless you. Problems. Here's one that won't bother you anymore, thanks to Helene Curtis Endon.
What kind of head scratcher are you? Wary? Eager? Thoughtful? Scratching won't solve your dandruff problem, but Endon will. Helene Curtis Endon Dandruff Treatment Shampoo. Endon really works. It's medically proved, 99% effective. Used regularly, Endon is guaranteed to end your dandruff problems and prevent their return. While you shampoo, Endon's medications penetrate and remove dandruff, leave invisible protection that lasts from shampoo to shampoo. Endon leaves your hair radiantly clean, soft, shiny, easy to manage.
I use Endon regularly as my only shampoo, and so does my whole family.
Helene Curtis Endon Dandruff Treatment Shampoo. Clear golden liquid, cream, or lotion. And for people with dry hair, new Special Endon, specially formulated for dry hair.
And now, panel, I'd like you to meet the star of our next round. According to many authorities, this is absolutely the finest cat that has ever been bred. And now let's meet our next team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Nikki Horner.
My name is Nikki Horner.
My name is Nikki Horner.
Now, panel, will you follow along with your copies of this next affidavit? I, Nikki Horner, am a cat fancier and breeder. At my Shawnee cattery, I have about 60 cats. I enter my best cats in shows throughout the country. So far, I have had 10 grand champions. The cat you see here is quadruple grand champion Shawnee Moonflight, winner of 60 Best in Shows and named by Cats Magazine as the Cat of the Year for 1960. Signed, Nikki Horner. I think maybe Nicky would be happier if I put him back in his cage here. So, Polly, would you open this for me? I'm sorry to bother you there. I just don't want to get him too upset. He's too beautiful an animal. There you go. Isn't he lovely? Thank you very much. Thank you, Polly. Now, you've heard these three lovely ladies, each claiming to be the owner and cat fancier and breeder of this beautiful, beautiful animal. Nikki Horner. So let's start this round of questioning with Tom Poston. Tom, please.
Thank you, Bud. Nikki, number 3, what is the history of the Siamese cat? Were they originally a working cat?
No.
Can you tell me something that is significant about the appearance of the Siamese cat, or the body structure that might be different from other cats?
Their points are one of a kind in that they always have dark ears, dark nose, dark tail, always blue eyes.
Is there something else about them that might be significant, a special number 2?
Well, from the top of their forehead to their nose, it goes straight rather than the curve.
Number 1, thank you.
Bay Emerson.
Thank you, Bud. Number 1, what is the difference between a seal point and a brown point in a Siamese?
Seal point and brown point?
Seal point and the other kind of point. I may be goofed on this a little.
Which point?
Blue. Blue point.
Shade. One's darker and one's lighter.
I see. What is a Manx cat?
It's a cat that doesn't have a tail.
Are they specially bred that way?
No, well, I imagine they came that way and they stayed that way.
Number 3, which nation revered cats, worshipped them as gods and goddesses?
Oriental descent, original.
Number 2, which...
Ralph?
Number 3, I'm very fond of cats, and it's the only allergy I have. I have an itching sort of sensation in the eyes, more than a sensation, actual physical swelling. And I understand this is rather common. Do you know what causes it, what it's from in the cat?
If I did, I probably would be worth $1 million. I'm sorry.
Number 2, do you?
Would you repeat that, sir?
What causes the allergy that's given off by cats? Do you know number 1?
It's the dandruff, I think.
Dandruff.
Dandruff.
Well, we've discovered something. Number 1, from what animal does the cat family originate in its wild state?
I don't know. I just like the other question. I guess they came and they stayed in the same state.
Number 2, would you, originally in its wild state? Number 3, do you know?
The same family as the lion, the tiger, and so forth.
Polly?
Number 1, do you know anything about large cats? No, I don't. Number 2, do you?
You mean the wild cat?
Yes.
Well,
there is one wild, large cat that is different from any other cat in the world. Would you know which one that is? Number 3, would you know?
Are you speaking of the ocelot?
Number 1, would you know? No, these are show cats we're speaking of. I see. Number 2, what are the, how are show cats pointed? How are they, what are the things that they use to give them points in order to win?
Well, as far as, you mean judging them?
Yes, judging them.
Well, they usually go by perfection of a cat. I mean,
yes, what is perfection of a cat, number 3?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, we have to stop just short of perfection, I guess, because it's time now to mark your ballots. If you will, please, and cast your votes. Do so without consultation, and vote for number 1, number 2, or number 3. mark your ballots as quickly as possible, please. Everybody marked? Tom, have you?
Yeah,
No, I'm not.
Quickly as possible, please. All right, Tom, for whom did you vote this time?
I voted for number 3. They were all good. I don't want to say they were all bad, right? So, since they were all the same, I'll say they were all great. And I just had to guess number 3.
Faye, your ballot, please.
Well, none of them look the least bit catty to me, but I took number 3.
All right.
Because she had some good answers, I thought.
Okay, Ralph?
Number 3 seemed to have a little bit more information and was a little quicker with it, and I suspect, again, it might be number 2. I don't know, but I voted for number 3.
All right, and Polly?
Well, I voted for number 2. I felt it was number 3 all along until she said the ocelot was the only cat that was different, and I know the real person generally doesn't take a guess. It is not the ocelot, it's the cheetah, which is different from any other cat. So I had to switch away from number 3 at that point then and vote for number 2, who gave the next to the best right answers.
All right, there we have it. We made up our minds, and if you have too, let's check it now. This is our moment of truth, and we discovered which one of these 3 ladies is the real cat fancier and breeder. So will the real Nikki Horner please stand up? Thank you very much. He's a beautiful animal, isn't he?
Just beautiful.
Now, number 2, would you tell us your real name and what you really do, please?
My name is Theda Stark, and I'm head of the Health and Physical Education Director at the YWCA.
Number 3, your real name and what you do, please.
My name is Marjorie Coolidge, and I work for Gaskell & Johnson Advertising in Newark, New Jersey.
Well, I must say it's been a great pleasure to see that perfectly beautiful cat, and he had to be beautiful to even compare with the 3 lovely ladies that are behind him. Hope you had a good time, and in checking the score, we find that the panel went the other way this time, and nobody got a right answer. That means 4 incorrect votes at $250 each for $1,000 from Helene Curtis, and a gift package of Helene Curtis beauty products for each of you. Thank you so much for playing our game with us. Good night. Good luck. Vive la différence. That's French for hooray for 2 different types of spray net.
All girls, even sisters, are beautifully different, and they continue to prefer Helene Curtis Spray Net for their own different reasons. Spray Net comes in 2 distinctly different types of control, firm and soft, regular and super soft. Whichever you choose, the very name Helene Curtis Spray Net inspires confidence. Take regular Spray Net. Nothing equals its special way of holding firmly. Millions of women have been using it exclusively for years. Or choose Super Soft Spray Net, the tried and true way to hold curls softly. Never mind a separate styling spray, recomb anytime. Super Soft lets you restyle without respray. The sister sprays Helene Curtis Spray Net, regular or Super Soft. And look, free, new Tender Touch Dry Skin Bath Oil with every $1.35 size of Helene Curtis Spray Net.
Now, panel, let's meet our 3rd team of challengers.
What is your name, please?
My name is Fred Norris.
My name is Fred Norris.
My name is Fred Norris.
Once again, will you follow along with your copies of this affidavit, panel? I, Fred Norris, a college freshman, have been called one of the best long-distance runners in the world. I was working as a coal miner in England when I took up running as a hobby. Eventually, I became both British and international cross-country champion and represented my country in 2 Olympic Games. Last year, I quit my job in the mines and came to the United States, where I was offered a college athletic scholarship. I have won 8 out of my 10 intercollegiate races this season. My most important win to date was the 5,000-meter run at this year's Sugar Bowl Games. Signed, Fred Norris. Three gentlemen this time, each one claiming to be Fred Norris, coal miner, and long-distance runner. We'll begin this round of questioning with Ralph Bellamy. Ralph?
Number 1, are you English?
Yes, I am.
Number 2, are you English?
Yes, I'm
Number 3, are you English?
Yes.
Number 1, where and what city are the Drake relays held? Number 2, do you know?
I have no idea.
Number 3, do you know?
No idea.
Here we go again.
Number 1, what famous British statesman came from a coal mining region?
I don't know.
Number 2, do you know?
Ernest Bevin.
Number 3, would you very quickly name the sports included in the decathlon?
Everyone, I believe.
Football?
Holly.
Tennis, anyone? Number 1, who is considered to be one of the most famous long-distance runners we've ever had in Olympic history?
Zatopek.
I beg your pardon?
Zatopek, the Czech.
I'm sorry.
Zetopek, the Czech.
Zatopek.
I see. Number 2, do you agree with that?
Yes, I do.
Number 3, do you also agree?
Yes.
Could you, in that case, because I don't know him, could you tell me the name of the most famous American runner in Olympic history, number 1?
Al Lawrence, I would guess.
I beg your pardon?
Al Lawrence.
Number 2, do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Tom Poston.
Tom, do you know who I was trying to get?
I don't know. The runner?
Because I didn't get it from anybody. Maybe only I know him.
You asked a question that prompted me to ask a question, and I can't think what it was now. Oh, I
hope
know.
you get a better
Number
answer.
1, what country is usually represented by the best distance runners as a nation? Nothing against England or America, but is there a country?
I would think the Greeks were, frankly.
Number 2, do you agree with that?
Russia, I think.
Number 3?
I would say England.
You would say England. Do you know the name, number 3, of the Hungarian miler who is currently winning races in this country?
Razavolji.
What's his nickname, number 3?
I don't know his nickname.
Number 2?
I don't know.
Faye?
Oh, dear. Number 3, who was Nurmi? Pavel Nurmi.
He was a European runner.
Number 2, do you know which country he came from? Number 1, do you know which country he came from? Pavel Nurmi?
No.
None of you have ever heard, number 1, you've never heard of the Finnish runner?
The Finnish runner?
Finnish runner, Pavel Nurmi?
No.
Approximately how long is a long-distance run, number 2?
26 miles.
Number 3.
Well, I think that about wraps it up once again, and it's time to vote. So will you please do so without any further ado and without consultation. Mark your ballots for number 1, number 2, or number 3. All right, everyone voting for Joey Ray or Pavel Nurmi?
What are you thinking of, Paul?
You know, after all, I'm considerably older than these gentlemen, and while I can remember some of these names, maybe they can't. They not ever have heard of them. Tom, for whom did you vote this time?
I voted for number 3. Even if I'm wrong, he had the guts to stand up for England. I did think, I think that Finland has a reputation for being the, you know, like consistently the distance running champion.
We'll have to discuss it later. We're running a little tight on time.
Okay.
Faye,
That's my point.
your vote, please.
Exactly, and I don't understand their not knowing about Pavel Nurmi, but number 3 I voted for because he has the thin, wiry look of a great runner.
Thank you. And Ralph?
Looks like Pavel Nurmi, actually.
Number 2, I didn't get much information about running, but he was the only one who knew about Bevins, and on that
And finally, Polly. What did you vote for?
Willie Stein. Yes.
Right. I can't see it.
I voted for Willie Stein.
Willie Stein.
Willie Stein is a gentleman who works with these people, you see, and I'm sure that he knows more answers than these 3 gentlemen did. I know I have to vote for somebody, so I voted for number 3.
Number 3? All right.
The last time, the person who knew the least about cats was the real person. All 3 of these gentlemen knew the least about running, so I just picked them.
Okay. Let's find out some more about running as we discover which one of these gentlemen is the real runner. And may I ask at this time, the real Fred Norris, to please stand up. Thank you very much, sir. Number 1, would you tell us your real name and what you really do, please?
Yes, my name is Alan Slatter, and I'm an art director at the Darcy Advertising Agency in New York.
Number 2, your real name and what you do, please.
My name is Frank Norman, and I'm a playwright and author.
Thank you, sir. Frank Norman is just a little bit too modest, as a matter of fact. He not only has a book which was recently published in New York called Stand on Me, but he's also the winner of the British Drama Critics Award for his musical comedy Things Ain't What They Used to Be, which has been running for 14 months in London. Very nice to have you with us, sir. Well, in checking our score, we find the panel was real good this time. They sort of waved up and down this time. Good, bad, and then good. That means only one incorrect vote, like the first round, for $250, gentlemen, but a gift package of Helene Curtis beauty products for your ladies, and we do thank you for being with us. Before you go, however, it's a well-known fact that Fred Norris has appeared through the permission of the Amateur Athletic Union, and of course he may not receive any money for his appearance on this show. I understand you'd like to give it to your favorite charity, Fred.
Yes, I would.
What will it be?
The Orphan Boys Village in Lake Charles.
It shall be done. Thank you, sir. Good night to you, gentlemen, and good luck. And now, a word of interest about a new nasal spray.
For sinus congestion and head colds distress, now get quick relief with new Dristan Nasal Mist. First, to show you scientific proof of relief with this nasograph, a device invented by a doctor to measure airflow through nasal passages. See, the nasograph shows almost no air coming through this victim's nostrils. Now, to demonstrate, we spray Dristan Mist into one nostril only. In a matter of seconds, Dristan Mist penetrates deep into swollen nasal and sinus passages, quickly shrinks those membranes, promotes sinus drainage, thus relieves pressure. In addition, a special protective ingredient controls post-nasal drip. Minutes later, the nasograph shows the left nostril, the one sprayed with Dristan Mist, with free breathing restored. So, for quick relief from sinus congestion and head colds distress, get Dristan Nasal Mist.
Panel, if I don't get these cat hairs off, I'm on my way to my first ermine jacket, I'll tell you that. That's all the time we have for tonight, except to say that Kitty Carlisle will be back with us next week, and Faye, I can't tell you how happy an occasion it's been to have you with us these past 4 weeks. Let's do it again.
Oh, thank you very much. I've loved it, and I hope I haven't been too stupid, Kitty. Thank you.
No.
That's about it, panel. Good night to you. Bud Collyer saying good night from Helene Curtis and reminding you to tell the truth. Good night, everybody.
To Tell the Truth is a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.
This is Harry Morgan. Cara Williams and I hope you'll stay tuned to most of these stations for Gladys and Pete.
He means Pete and Gladys.
Just being diplomatic.
To Tell the Truth has been brought to you tonight by Helene Curtis, makers of End and Dandruff Treatment Shampoo, and Helene Curtis Spray Net, regular and super soft. Johnny Olson saying good night from To Tell the Truth.